Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Yank Lovelace of Brewton, and obviously we're here on the Brooke Bridges case. Before I introduce Chief McGugan, I would just like to say I'd like to thank the FBI, the SBI, numerous law enforcement agencies and volunteers that have helped the city in searching for Brooks. With that, I'll introduce Chief McGugan.
Thank you. Good evening. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming on such a short notice. I know last time I spoke with you guys, I told you whenever we found out something, I would definitely let y'all know as quick as possible. As you all know, we've been searching for Brooke Bridges, missing since February the 8th, 2016. Immediately thereafter, multi-law enforcement agencies band together and tried to safely locate Brooke and return her to her parents. Well, with a very big smile on my face, I am relieved to announce today that she has been returned back to Brewton and has been reunited with her family, her mother, father, and her brother. Mr. and Ms. Bridges have asked to express their gratitude to law enforcement partners which made this reunion possible, as well as advise that the matter is now a personal family matter for them and would like the media to respect all their wishes and grant them privacy. I want to personally thank all the volunteers that has worked long hours. I want to thank all the law enforcement personnel and agencies that has been involved in this now for almost 2 months, doing countless hours of research and going through all type of resources that we have to bring Brooke home. Without their assistance, it would have been unable to resolve this as quickly matter as we have. I also want to thank the media for staying on top of this with us and giving us the coverage you have. With your patience and understanding, and I know it's hard sometimes to work with us and be patient, this difficult task for searching for Brooke, which is in our eyes a lost child, and respecting the enforcement of the sensitivity toward this case has been a very big thank you from my agency, Brewton Police Department, and I know the FBI and SBI that has been involved. With that being said, I do open the floor for questions, and respectfully, I want you to please keep in mind that we are still an open investigation. Just because we have our hands on Brooke doesn't mean that I can stand up here and explain everything that's still going on and everything that's happened. So I ask you to respect me in that manner.
Can you kind of give the bigger details about how she was recovered, how she was found?
Yes, we, of course, whenever we was working this case, you could see that we was had every resource at our hands, with the FBI, SBI, helicopters, dogs. Once we went through that, we totally shifted our investigation toward exploited child with the social media side of it. It was almost like we slowed down, but we was diligently still working through the social media side of it. We was finally able to get a lead that we tracked on, and it ended up hitting last night.
Where was she found?
She was found in the state of Georgia. I'm not able to say at this time.
Was she ever in any danger?
Speaking with her is still early in the investigation. We have done a briefing with her. Of course, not as lengthy as we're going to do, but physically, she was not harmed. No.
She cooperating? She was saying that she ran away or anything like that?
Yeah, she's a very humble child, very respectful child. Whenever my investigators and myself and FBI met her, she answered our questions to the fullest of her ability. She was, matter of fact, one of the questions we asked her, are you ready to go home? And her answer was yes, she was ready to see her family. And, that was a hurdle that we had to cross with her, to going back to her parents. She, had some question of maybe what was going to happen, but that's all been covered, and the family's just ecstatic that she's home, and we're ecstatic because as well as I do, cases usually don't end like this.
Could you be a little bit more clear? Was she taken? Was she go with someone else, or was she strictly a runaway by herself?
That's still under investigation. Well, I can't speak on it, and, soon as we get to the bottom of the investigation, iron everything out, we will know that answer.
So how was she picked up? You said it was a lead that led you guys to something yesterday, last night. How did that go about? Did you guys send authorities to get her? Did she show up?
Yes, some leads from Mobile came in with us in Brewton, and, some phone calls was made to go check a location, and when they went and checked it, she was there.
She still got blue hair?
What about bluish? I don't, it wasn't blue like the picture, but you could tell that, it was still blue to a point.
Was she aware of all the coverage and the resources that are running to looking for her? Do you feel like there was any amount of pressure that kind of mounted on her or anything like that, or?
I don't know. We have to keep in mind as a child and, almost 2 months away from your entire family, I'm sure that weighed on her. I have no idea about the coverage or anything in Georgia that she was looking at.
Now, what's the procedure when a child like that is picked up? Is she taken to the hospital to be evaluated? Did anything like that happen?
No, that's correct. She, of course, FBI, whenever we picked her up, had all the resources taken care of, where, the youth sources and the social sources was all there to interview her. She was taken to the hospital and released, and everything, everything was good there.
I think walk us through telling the parents the good news. Like, obviously,
It was something. It was very touching. It was something that I was actually proud to be able to do. I've never, in my 21 years of law enforcement, been able to do that. There was one time I thought, so I'd probably call the ambulance to the mother. She was hyperventilating. So it was a humbling experience, and it was also just a job well done. Man, I'm beaming inside for my guys, and I'm beaming inside for FBI and SBI for not giving up on this case. And my guys has worked. We left late last night, and a lot of them hadn't slept yet. So I'm happy.
Any amount of frustration? I mean, there was a lot of resources, as you mentioned, that kind of put into this thing.
Yeah.
I know you want to hope for the best, but was there any amount of frustration that, turned out that she kind of just lost on her own here?
I can't speak on that yet. I couldn't tell you an honest answer on that.
Can you give any more detail about what specifically on the social media account led you to her?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, I cannot. Sorry.
And do you have any idea what she was doing for those 2 months?
No, she didn't really ever go into great detail what she was doing. I can assure physically that she was okay.
Brooke previously lived in Georgia, so was she back in the same town where she used to live, maybe the people she knew?
No, ma'am.
Not in the same town where she previously.
No, ma'am. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for coming out. I appreciate the press. Okay, one more.
How much does investigation cost?
I have no idea. I'm not at that point yet. But I can tell you what, bringing a child home and returning to its family is priceless to me.
I just have one more question.
Okay.
I need that.
Awesome.
Social media, so is it fair to say that social media really did lead to the breakthrough in this case because so many people crossed paths with each other?
Yes, that's a fair statement to say.
But at this time, do you guys know exactly who she was with?
No, we don't. Thank y'all.
I have a question for that. Yeah,
One more,
just,
okay.
for you, just when it comes to social media, once again, do you see a lot of cases nowadays where social media plays a big factor in locating somewhere where tips coming in? Because obviously you guys are the main database where the information was coming through and being funneled through. For you, is this going hopefully a normal outcome or a happy outcome? What do you see in the
No, this is obviously a great outcome. And you got to understand, most of these 17, 16, 18, 16, 17-year-old kids, this is what they grew up with, unlike my generation. This is how they function. This is how they develop their relationships with individuals and friends and acquaintances. So it is something that we need to continue to exploit and look at. We devote tremendous resources. Anytime a child is missing, it's irrelevant. We are going to do everything we can to reunite that child with its parents.
We were told that her cell phone was missing, that the day she went missing with her cell phone.
We can't comment on that. That's part of the investigation.
So can you guys comment on what happens next? I know you said possibility of more charges. What exactly needs to be looked at? And, one will understand the reason that a teenager leaves their home, maybe there's a reason why they left. Is there any concern for
one of the things that's going to happen is the federal investigation, we're going to look at it and see what possible federal charges, if any, might be out there. So we'll evaluate the facts and circumstances associated with this case, as far as the federal side of the house.
I just want to make sure.
And as far as the social workers on the case, they have thoroughly, went over everything with her, and there's nothing we can find at this time that would, refrain her from going back to her residence. Also, her request is to go back to her residence.
Which was returned today.
Sorry?
She was returned today.
That's correct.
Well, what was that moment like, them being reunited?
That's what I spoke to him about a while ago.
I just want to make sure I have facts straight. So social media led to the breakthrough that helped you guys track her down Sunday night. The FBI took her to the hospital. She has since been reunited with her family. As for if she was abducted, kidnapped, willingly left, those are still questions that are being investigated and looked into. And that also comes into terms of plays with the cell phone. And we might hear something about that in the near future as you guys conduct your investigation. But as per your knowledge, Brooke did want to come back home to her family and want to come back to her house, correct?
That is correct. Thank y'all. Have a nice day.